Let's talk about Zack Snyder's failure of Batman vs. Superman. We gotta get into this. I'm reviewing all the Superman movies, and of course, I had to review Batman vs. Superman. I have not seen this movie since its release. And when I watched it, I actually forgot all about it. I don't remember hardly anything with this movie, so I had to rewatch it. And man, I'm a little upset I did rewatch this movie. Now, is this movie awful compared to some of the previous Superman movies? Sort of. And I want to break down why it's not the greatest. I want to talk about some pros about it. I am not an anti-Zack Snyder guy. There are some movies that I actually really enjoy from him, like his remake of Dawn of the Dead. That movie, I think that's probably his best movie, arguably. And then also I liked 300. Did I like the sequel to 300? No. Did he direct that movie? I have no idea. I'm sure he did, I think. The reason why I say that is those two movies are like the best ones. He really does a good job at making the thing. How he does cinematography in movies is so good that I just sit back and I'm like, wow, these are really good. But then when you get down to the deeper layer of movies, he just doesn't execute them properly. And this is a man that doesn't understand Superman and he doesn't understand Batman. So instead of making a good Batman and a good Superman movie, you give it to this guy who wants to make weird, great things with Batman and killing people because he doesn't think Batman's that cool. Now, that's the other thing. A lot of people think Batman's an anti-hero because Batman is grumpy, but arguably Batman is one of the best heroes because he works with, for one, he works with cops. He's arguably a better hero than Spider-Man and Superman. The only reason why people say he's an anti-hero is because he wears black and he's grumpy. That's just how I look at it. Now, that's just a surface level of my thoughts with it. Now, I'm going to talk about some pros of Batman vs. Superman before I really dig down into the cons of it. Biggest pro of it, there is some shots from Zack Snyder in this movie that is really good. I will say that. The scene, and the problem is we had to go through the scene again where we got to see Batman's parents die again. We have seen his parents die about as many times as Uncle Ben has died, which is just lovely. So we had to see that, but I will say there is some elements of that is really cool. Now I will say why this Batman's probably messed up is because Morgan is his dad, so I think I'd be a little messed up too. Just saying. With that being said, I think the scene where you get to see the gun shoot and it breaks the pearls looks really, really good, and I did not expect that. That looked really good. And I thought going into this movie the second time, I was like, this might not be too bad. This might not be too bad. And then after that, the movie started, and I'm like, ooh, this is not a good movie. So that was a really good part of the movie. That's a pro. Well, we're gonna give 1 point for pro. The other pro I would give is, I think, the casting. Everyone talks about the casting for the DCEU. It's really good. I mean, Henry Cavill is a really good Superman. Casting. Directed, not very good. Ben Affleck, a great Batman Bruce Wayne. He is, especially for an older Bruce Wayne, and Batman, he's perfect. I think he's really good. Problem is, directing, not very good. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, a lot of people say she can't act anymore, which is true. She can't really act the greatest. In the Wonder Woman movie, the first one, and in this one she was kind of in it, but whatever. But in the Wonder Woman movie, I think she was great. She did a really good job as Wonder Woman. Now, maybe I'll do a video of Wonder Woman in a couple months from now or whenever I feel like it. I would argue that casting in this universe was really good, besides Lex Luthor, but we'll get into that. Don't worry. Those are the only kinds of pros I can give Batman vs. Superman. Now we're going to get into the cons. I wanted to make a video of why Zack Snyder failed as Batman, but it's really hard to avoid Batman in Batman vs. Superman because he's half of the screen time, and what Zack Snyder does with Batman is so messed up that it just makes no sense. In this, Batman kills people and uses guns. Does he do it in dream sequences? Yes. Does he actually do it in real time? Yes. The whole movie makes no sense because Batman's mad at Superman for killing people, and Superman's mad at Batman for killing people, and Lex Luthor is plotting them to be against each other to kill each other, but he's also wanting to make Superman his, slave. It makes no sense, and I really don't like when they make villains like, oh, I know everything. I had plots for every single thing, and it's like, okay, sure you did. So there's that element. But the biggest problem is Batman and Superman are literally killing people and they're mad at one another. That's the whole plot of it. And the logic of that makes no sense at all. Why are you getting mad at someone for killing someone else, but you are also doing the same thing? It's funny because Batman doesn't kill everybody. What Batman does is he brands criminals and sends them to Arkham to get killed. That's still murder. And on top of that, there's a scene where he is chasing the truck because Lex Luthor was after a truck, was moving cargo of kryptonite, and Batman chases him with guns and kills people, literally booming people with guns and rockets and everything and just killing them. Was the scene cool? Like, if that was not a Batman scene, if I did not know this was Batman, it was just some random cool billionaire dude doing this, I'd be like, that's a really cool scene, but it's freaking Batman. And I usually try not to gatekeep superheroes too much in movies, but the issue is with that element is every superhero has core values that everyone likes, that everyone will always remember. There is elements where Batman does use a gun. There is elements where Batman has killed people, but those are just like really spin-off, smaller, not popular series. And sometimes if you kill someone, it's like an alien life. But one of the core values of Batman is not taking a life, because he never wants anyone to relive the time of how he felt when he lost his parents. That's why Batman is the definition of anti-gun and anti-killing. Like, if you want someone for anti-gun laws, Batman is your man on your side. And that's just the reality of it. When I look at these movies and see the flaw of Batman in general, Zack Snyder does not understand the core value of Batman, and he never will. There's a reason why he's not in charge of the DC universe anymore, because he doesn't understand a lot of these characters. I already talked about why he doesn't understand Superman that much, and Superman's still the same thing. We get into this one, and now everyone all of a sudden loves Superman. They look at him as like Jesus. They look at him as like a savior. Why? I don't know, because we saw him in the previous movie, and he did not do anything that we all thought, wow, what a savior. This man is goated. And that is another issue. They portray it as Superman is someone who is the savior. Everyone loves Superman, but also it's like, you never shown us that in the previous movie. And that's where like those character development moments, like I've said before, if Superman showed us this in Man of Steel, I would actually think it's more believable. And it'd be cooler if we actually were, since we didn't know Batman in this movie, wouldn't it have been cooler if we already knew who Superman was from Man of Steel, the development of Man of Steel, of Superman from Man of Steel, going into this movie where we would be on his side more than Batman's side? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like, we already know Superman, we don't know Batman, but now it's like in this movie we don't know either of them still. So it's like, cool. And then the last character, of course, we have to sit there and watch is Lex Luthor, who is super cringe. I cannot believe this is Lex Luthor in this universe. It blows my mind how terrible Lex Luthor is. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about Lex Luthor. We all know he's trash. Like, I think when he got casted, everyone's like, what? And everyone wanted, like, just literally anyone that was just a good actor that's not Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. It was just kind of insane. And I will say, I forgot all about Lex Luthor in this movie when I was going in for a rewatch. I forgot all about him. So there's that. I totally forgot all about him. I sat back, I'm like, oh my gosh, they actually have Jesse Eisenberg in this movie. Like, it just blew my mind. And the thing is, this isn't really like a Batman versus Superman movie. It's Batman versus Superman and the death of Superman and the introduction to the Justice League. Because we get to meet Wonder Woman and we get to meet the rest of the Justice League characters through a leak email that Batman found of the rest of them. So that's cool. And Batman has like a flash scene, literally a flash scene where he's like sitting there and like the Flash appears, tells him like doomsday is coming, and then he disappears. That clearly worked out really well because we got to see that movie, right? And yeah, like I said, we get the death of Superman in this movie. How did Lex Luthor know how to mix his blood with General Zod? I don't know. I don't know about any of this. Why did Superman randomly say Martha for his mom's name instead of saying mom or literally anything else? Which blows my mind. That's his last word he said was Martha. And it's like, Batman's like, where'd you get that name? Where'd you get it? It's just like, what? And the worst part about this is I haven't rewatched this movie in a long time either, but I remember when Batman vs. Superman came out, we had Captain America Civil War came out. I think Civil War came out like a month after BVS came out, which is just so funny because the plots are almost the same, but one's better than the other. Now, the ripple effect of Civil War has hurt a lot of the Marvel things, and I'll get into that eventually. Both of them, Iron Man and Captain America, Batman and Superman both have issues with their mothers. Something happens where one of their mothers gets killed, and that's what happens. Like in Iron Man, his mom gets killed by Bucky. And the whole story of the Civil War is to try and protect Bucky. When Iron Man figures out that Bucky killed his mom and dad, Iron Man loses it and tries to kill Bucky, and Captain America tries to protect him, which is really cool. I mean, that's not like the whole plot of Civil War, but that is one part of the plot of it, which is so crazy. But I will say the difference between this versus BVS is we were established Bucky in the first Captain America movie all the way up to Captain America Civil War. We had 3 movies to learn Bucky, learn that he was the Winter Soldier, learn about every single thing he was going through in all 3 of these movies, compared to this, where we don't really know Batman, we don't really know Superman. That's the biggest difference, and that's why Civil War worked. That's why this movie does not work, because they're doing way too much crap in this movie, and it's way too long. I think the extended version is like 3 hours long, and it's like, why is this so long? And I think the version I watched was like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Way too long. Plus, I have to mention, when Lois goes to a different country, I can't remember the country off the top of my head, she brings Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen gets freaking boomed immediately because he's like a spy, and Superman kills the dude that's holding Lois hostage. It's just insane. This whole movie is insanity and is so bad. I just never understood this movie, and it blows my mind till this day. Like, there's always going to be the Snyder fans that are going to defend everything Zack Snyder. They even defended Rebel Moon, which is just insanity. Now, like I said, I think this movie could have been really good if they did it a little different. I think if they gave Batman vs. Superman, I think if this was one more movie for Superman and one more movie, just the first movie for Batman, and then put it into Batman vs. Superman, I think this would have been a really good movie, but we didn't get that. So here we are. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. What did you guys think of Batman vs. Superman? Did you guys like Batman vs. Superman, or did you not? I would love to know down below. Also, let me know what other critiques if you have for this movie, or do you think I'm just completely wrong and I do not understand what I'm talking about for the Snyder movies at all? Regardless, stay safe, everyone.